Get ready with me while I tell you about the one and only time my husband and I took a break in our relationship. And let's just say, it didn't even last as long as the TikTok ban, so let's talk about it. This is such a funny memory that actually me and my family, everybody talks about it quite frequently. If you don't know, me and my husband are high school sweethearts. We started dating our junior year in high school, and we have been together literally ever since then, except for this one time where we took a break. I think we'd only been dating like maybe 5 or 6 months. One morning, I will never forget, it was a Saturday morning. Sam had been hanging out with his friends the night before. Like, we didn't hang out. He was just with all of his guy friends. Also, at the time, Sam was kind of the only guy in his friend group that had a serious girlfriend. So he would get teased a lot for it. And I just think that was something that was like always a discussion. He texts me and says, hey, can we talk on a Saturday morning? And I'm like, oh no. So comes over to my house, picks me up. Or we drive to like a parking lot nearby my house. And he basically is like, I think we need to take a break. I think we're getting too serious. Like, I just think we need to take a break. In hindsight, later on, it was essentially just him feeling like pressured by all of his buddies who were like, you don't need to have a girlfriend. Like, that's so lame. You have a serious girlfriend. Tells me we need to take a break. I'm bawling. I'm like, like hysterical. He basically does it. 10 minutes later, goes and drops me off back at home. I walk inside the house bawling hysterically. My whole family's home. I'm in my parents' room crying, can barely get words out. I'm like, he wants to take a break. All my sisters are like, oh, like, I can't remember if it's Jensen or Brinley who has more of the vivid memory, but they were like mad at Sam. I told both my parents, like, I told my mom, my dad, and they're like consoling me pretty much the whole day. All of a sudden, like literally not even like 8 hours later, I get a text from Sam. It was football season. There are two pretty big college football teams here in Utah. You've got BYU and you've got University of Utah. Sam's family is huge University of Utah fans. They have tickets and go to every single game. And it's Saturday game day, all right? So I get a text from Sam and he's like, just out of nowhere. Remember, he just told me we need to go on a break. And he says, hey, my mom just asked me if you want to come to the game with us tonight. And what do? Yes, I'd love to come. His mom had no idea that he had like said we need to take a break. Otherwise, she probably wouldn't have said like to invite me. But he invites me and I say, yes, I'd love to come. I immediately go start getting ready. Start getting ready in my parents' bathroom because literally, I don't know about you guys, but like I only got ready in my parents' bathroom growing up. Like there was no other way. I had a bathroom right next to my bedroom and no, I was getting ready in my parents' bathroom. Me and all of my sisters did. I don't know if that's a normal experience, but that's how we did it. The funniest thing is hearing my mom and sisters recall this because I'm just in there silently getting ready and my mom comes in. She's like, this is after they've consoled me for like an hour, 2 hours while I was crying hysterically. Linz, what are you getting ready for? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to the football game with Sam. And they're like, what? I thought you guys just broke up. Sam picks me up. We go to the game, have a great time. On the way home, he's like, I don't think we should be on a break anymore. And I'm like, yeah, me neither. And that was the only time we ever took a brief pause in our relationship. And like I said, it didn't even last as long as the TikTok ban. So I think that could possibly be the shortest breakup ever. But I don't know. You tell me. Here's your story, guys. Hope you enjoyed.
And this is exactly why I'm always telling people to just post, because you literally never know what could happen. Like last year around this time, I think I was at 150K. How did I get here? I'm just so grateful to be able to even have a platform in general. But the fact that like a million different accounts sat there and was like, you know what, I'll listen to her, yeah. In all seriousness, I love you guys so much and I'm so grateful. And I feel like thank you isn't really cutting it anymore. So, you guys have to keep it a secret though. But I am in the process of arranging a cute little giveaway. So if you guys can please comment some things you would want inside of a giveaway basket, please let me know so I can get that arranged. I haven't figured out like any rules or anything like that yet, but leave your suggestions in the comments of what you would want to receive. And I know I've probably said thank you 1,000 times on 1,000 different platforms, but I truly do mean it. I'm so grateful and so appreciative of every single one of you. It's such a crazy milestone. Like I have no words. Love you all so much. And of course, deuces, and deuces.
Get ready with me while I tell y'all a crazy, true story time. About a month and a half ago, I had a meeting with an influencer marketing agency. If you don't know what that is, it's basically an agency that helps you get brand deals, connects you with brands to get on PR teams, stuff like that. They had been hitting me up for a couple months and I never took the call because I didn't really know if I wanted to work with an influencer marketing agency, but This year, I'm trying to say yes to more stuff, so I finally took the call. But then she started asking me questions, and one of the questions she asked me was, how much money did you make last year? Full transparency, just like I had with her, I didn't make that much money last year. That's because it was my first year really pushing my rates and trying to get out of like the gifted campaigns hole. You know, I was realizing my worth, and it took me a little bit. From there, the call shifted. Like, girl, I felt the energy was off, the energy was weird. She straight up told me that you will hear back from us at the beginning of next week, deciding whether or not we decided to sign you or whatever. Girl, it didn't even take her all of next week. She emailed me back the next morning and basically was like, we're not going to sign you at this time. Tried to put it off on me and was like, what you're looking for, we just don't think that we'd be a good fit right now. Girl, I didn't even say what I was looking for. Obviously, I know it was because how much money I made last year. They get paid a commission based off of the brand deals that you get, and based on how much money I made, they probably looked at me like, we can't make money off of her next. Now, I got a little butthurt after this, and the reason I got a little butthurt was at the beginning of the call, she said, we see potential in you. And that stuck with me because I'm like, okay, well, if you saw potential in me, why wouldn't you just take a chance on me? And I had to remember, I've been beauty influencing, content creating, whatever you want to call it, for like the past 3 or 4 years, and I just started making good money this year. This year, making money was not like my top reason for wanting to be a beauty influencer. I've always wanted to be a beauty influencer. So honestly, I was just happy that I was chasing my dreams. But girl, I was feeling so bad that I literally went on my social channels and was looking at my low engagement and how many followers I had. And I was really like hurt. Like, all I remember is that I never want to have to feel that way again. There is no way that somebody scouts you out for that long and then you take a call and it's almost like embarrassing. Like, I genuinely felt embarrassed and it was almost just felt like a slap in the face. And just for comparison, whenever I took that call with her, I had 20K followers on TikTok. I now have 63K followers on TikTok, almost 40K followers on Instagram, and 13K followers on YouTube. All that is completely grown organically. I've never paid for likes, views, comments, nothing, all organically. We are still at the beginning of the year going into mid-February, and I have now made triple of what I made last year for the whole year. I have already been placed on 3 dream PR teams just this year. Girl, if that is not a sign of motivation, I don't know what is. Not every single deal is a good deal. Not all money is good money. Not all exposure is good exposure. And I'm lucky enough to have followers who genuinely care about me. I feel like me and my followers are so close. Like, y'all know I would not lie to y'all. Y'all know that y'all can talk to me anytime. I try to respond to as many people as I can because I'm trying to do things differently over here. As cliche as it sounds, I'm glad that it happened to me because I really feel like it gave me the drive and motivation to keep going. And it really made me realize my worth because I will never feel like that again.
Get ready with me while I tell you about the time that I was almost used for a gang initiation. This story is so traumatizing for me to tell, but I don't care because it's literally crazy, and I feel like I could spread enough awareness for people to, you know, keep a fucking eye out if you're at a fair. So a little bit of context that matters. My dad has been in and out of jail my whole life. He has been affiliated his whole life, and I kind of have a good amount of knowledge on what goes on. So a while back, my ex worked for a security guard company, and his company actually called him and said, hey, I'm calling all the employees. If you know anyone that wants to come help, we have a little children's room area that needs to just be sat in. If you know anyone that would be down to do that, we would pay them for the day. It would be helpful. Thank you. So at the time he asked me, he said, hey, there's a children's room that needs to just be watched. Would you want to do it? They'll pay you. All you have to do is sit in there and make sure no one brings any adult drink in because it's a kid center. And I was like, yeah, I could use the money. All I gotta do is sit there and watch the little kids. I'm down. So I went. After sitting in there, I had noticed that there were 2 older teenagers. I want to say they were in high school because they both had JanSport backpacks and they looked pretty young. And basically they were dressed exactly how my dad dresses and how he's told me to always look out for people that dress that way and don't really go near them because they're probably not great. I'm telling you, they were dressed exactly how my dad dresses. So immediately, my attention flew to them because I'm a little bit nervous just because of how I was raised. This is my father, hello. Anyways, they're staring me down, fully staring me down and just being super weird. They're pretending to look at all the children's finger painting art and they are just not looking. I can tell they're not looking. So I end up calling my boyfriend at the time because he is only a few hundred feet away next door. So I was telling him to come, look at these dudes with me, make sure they're not weird. So he comes over, he sees them, they immediately leave when they see him. They skirt the fuck out of there. And then he goes, okay, just let me know if they come back. And then he goes back to where he was. I want to say within about 5 minutes of him being gone, they come right back in and begin staring at me again. And I'm super uncomfortable because I'm realizing that they're just hiding from him, which like is an issue. So I kind of text him again. I don't really call him over, but I'm like, hey, they're back. Like, they're weird. And he goes, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and like switch to be outside the kids' room door so I can just kind of like watch you. I'm like, okay. Well, his boss gets super upset. You're not here to mingle with your girlfriend. You guys are working. She's not understanding. I'm telling her, yo, these kids are tripping me out. She goes, you have no training on whether, you know, people are suspicious or not. And I'm like, okay. So after getting yelled at, he's not allowed to be with me in the children's room, and I'm alone once again. And then they come back again, a third time. This time, one of them comes up to me directly, and he walks right up to my hip where my walkie-talkie is, and he grabs it and does something. I don't know what he did, and then he says, you're very beautiful. And I was like, thanks. And I kind of backed up because he was so unbelievably close to me. And then he apologizes, and he goes, I'm really sorry. For what? So that's when I got really, really fucking scared. And he leaves. I'm calling my boyfriend. I'm like, I don't care what they say. Send someone in here with me. Before my boyfriend can even get to me, the two kids come back, and now they have about 5 men with them. Majority of these men are huge and covered in tattoos. They're all bald. They look like my dad. And they start coming at me, and I get the fuck out of there. I run to where my boyfriend is, and he's not there anymore. So I'm like, what the fuck? I turn around, and this group of men are following me, and now they've multiplied even more. There's about, I want to say there's like 11 of them now. So again, I'm running, and it turns out my boyfriend is in the very back of the fair. So I go back there, and every time I turn around, there they are going after me, and I end up being right next to my boyfriend, and they scram. They get out of there so fast. They disappear. So I tell my boyfriend what happened. He goes, okay, you know what? We're getting the fuck out of here. Like, I don't care. Like, you're going home. This is not the place for you. You just can't do it. So I'm like, okay. So we start walking back to the front of the fair to leave. And, ooh, guess what I see? Okay, you guys are gonna have to go to part 2. This video is getting way too long.
Things that are not disrespectful, but it feels like they are. Part 2. First thing that feels disrespectful, even though it isn't, is whenever I tell somebody that I'm tired, and they're like, yeah, you do look tired. What do you mean by that? And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna look tired if I'm tired, but for some reason, I still feel offended. And I know it wasn't the intent, but you low-key just called me chopped, so what's tea? Like, I was gonna say that I'm tired, but why are you saying that I'm tired? Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Another moment that feels disrespectful, even though it technically isn't, is whenever Sephora employees are breathing down my neck. I get it, it's their job, security has to be strict, especially in Sephora, because that's what they're trained to do. I get it, I do, but I just walked in the door. Why am I already being followed? And for me, I love window shopping too, so don't look at me weird when I don't leave with anything. I'm just going home to compare prices. You don't have to watch me walk back to the car. I'm just gonna pretend like this isn't empty. Next thing that feels disrespectful, even though it isn't, is whenever I turn my phone brightness up and then Apple immediately turns it back down. Like, is there a problem? Why are you fighting me on this? I cannot see my phone screen. It genuinely feels like a fight. I need to learn how to turn that off because that really gets me mad. Next thing that feels disrespectful, even though it technically isn't, is whenever I get a quiz or exam back and the grader wrote question marks next to my answer. Oh, so I'm an idiot. Okay. You can just put a cute little X if the question is wrong. You do not have to do too much. Like, maybe it was wrong, sure, but what is there to question because I said what I said and I wrote what I wrote? You don't even tell me what's wrong. You just give a little question mark and call it a day. I feel disrespected. I do. Fifth thing that feels disrespectful, even though it isn't, is whenever my MacBook overheats in class and the fans turn on and it's making all that noise in a silent classroom. Loud as hell for literally no reason. All that ruckus and all I did was open Safari. Like, come on now. Wrap up the theatrics. But we are finished. Deuces, get ready with me, but I can't say or literally. This is definitely going to be difficult for me because they're like flow words. I didn't hear that. I just spilled all my toner on my desk. I haven't even done the first step of my routine. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. But I was trying to say that they're flow words whenever I form a sentence. Anyway, I would say good morning, but I'm on the way to physics right now, so is it really a good morning? Real question though, has anyone else been like on the verge of a crash out like literally every 5 seconds for the entire month of January? I just said literally. The entire month of January has just been so stressful. I don't know if I've ever been at peace for the entire year of 2025. My hair is turning gray, and I'm barely an adult. Another question, and I don't want to start no conspiracy, but does anyone else feel like Trump... Does anyone else feel as if Trump saved TikTok so that he can distract people from the mass deportations that he's starting today. Stay with me now. I don't know. I'm not trying to get political at 9 o'clock in the morning, but it's kind of strange that everyone's like making him seem like a savior. I said like so many times. Do y'all ever catch yourself laughing at something that's literally so mean that it's like, it's fun? It's funny for 5 seconds and then you're like, wait, that was actually really mean. I should not have laughed at that. And then you almost get upset with yourself because it's like, wow, why did I just laugh at that? Like, that was so mean. Just said like. That's honestly how it felt with the 2 seconds that we spent on Instagram Reels. Reading all the comments, it's like, reading all the comments, like, is there a point in even speaking anymore? Is there a point to anything anymore? Do you see what we're living through right now? That just got really emo, I'm sorry. I never really notice how much I say it until I either 1, watch back my videos, or 2, do challenges. I feel as if I should do a part 2 to this video just because of how bad I'm doing right now. But then like actually come up with the punishment. I know, I heard it. Don't say anything. For all the people who are continuously on my tip about not putting concealer on my forehead, you can hop off because I do not care. It will always look unbalanced in my vanity light because of the fact that it's so harsh. Here. You happy now? Damn. I know my comments are going to be flooded with people saying, oh, like you're doing it on purpose. But I literally am not. It just flows so well with the way that I usually speak. It is what it is. We're finished. Deuces, deuces, and deuces.
Breaking news. The future is here, and it looks bright.
Get ready with me to go confess my feelings to my best friend. So this has been one of my best friends since around 2020, but recently, you know, he had gotten a girlfriend. When I say recently, I meant like last year, like beginning of last year. You know, the many years that we were friends before that, I never really thought much of him. Like, yeah, we were really close. It was like a really weird, like deep connection that I haven't really had with anybody else. But I don't know, I didn't think much of it until he got his girlfriend. I think that seeing him be with somebody else intimately just kind of made me realize, like, damn, like, maybe I like this motherfucker just a little bit. So him and his girlfriend had broken up about a month ago, but while they were together, I did kind of distance myself from him a little bit, like, mainly out of respect for the fact that, like, you know, he has a girlfriend and, like, I'm over here crushing on him, like, I'm not gonna do that, you know what I mean? And then also just for my own mental health, because, like, being around that just, like, fucked me up. And don't get me wrong, like, when I found out that they broke up, bitch, I was ecstatic. Like, obviously, I was sad that he was sad, but also, you know what, like, it's like, now it's my chance. I am kind of scared of being the rebound. Like, I waited a month, you know, so he can get over it, but, like, I know it doesn't take a month to get over, you know, like, your fucking first love, but I can't wait any longer. Honestly, I don't even know how I'm gonna go about this. Like, how do you confess your feelings to your best friend of many, many years? You know what I mean? Like, it's also just like, what if it like ruins our friendship, you know? What if he doesn't feel the same way and now he's all weirded out and now he never wants to fucking talk to me ever again? Because this has happened to me before. We have plans to see a movie tonight and I'm like, okay, well now I have 3 options. Either I can do it before the movie, I can do it during the movie, or I can do it after the movie, you know? Let's say I confess my feelings to him before the movie. Then it could be like, you know, a cute little first date moment if, you know, things go well. Then it's like, if it doesn't go well, then it's just gonna be awkward as fuck during the movie, and it's just like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. It's basically the same thing if I do it during the movie. It could be a really cute romantic moment, or it could just be a really embarrassing disaster. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play it safe and wait until after the movie just to like save myself some embarrassment. Don't worry though, I'll keep you guys updated. Oh my god, you know what we should do? I'm filming this like in real time. I'm gonna change my profile picture tonight depending on like where I'm at. So this profile picture means that I'm still getting ready. This profile picture means that he's on his way. This profile picture means that I'm with him. This profile picture means we are in the movie. This profile picture means that I finally told him and it went well. And then this profile picture means that I told him and it did not go well. Bitch, my eyes watering because I'm nervous. Like, only the people who have made it this far throughout the video will know what my profile picture means. It's like a little inside secret between us. Well, I'm gonna go finish getting ready. Wish me luck.